Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Heal Yourself podcast. And today, Denise and I want to talk about seeing everything as a gift, which for some is going to be a really tough pill to swallow. Because you're like, no, that
Yes,
shitty thing just happened to me is not a gift. And we want to talk about why it might be today.
absolutely. It definitely is a gift. We may not see it because remember, we have tunnel vision. We don't
Yeah.
see, because remember, Kathy Heller in her latest podcast, she said we only see 1%. The 99% is we are in our unconscious. So it is definitely a gift. We just are so caught up with and actually, I actually made a TikTok video yesterday about that hustle culture. We are too caught up with that hustle culture. I want to do this. I want to get there. I want to whatever. However, sometimes that 5 minutes being late will work out for you amazing only if you are wanting to see it that way also and wanting to choose it. Because remember, it's all about choice. That's where free will comes in. So
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like when we say view everything as a gift, it doesn't mean that the gift always comes wrapped up in a bow, right? Like your
no, it can
gift
be
is,
wrapped up in caca.
yeah, and that's what I was to say. Like a gift could be a lump of coal. It could be wrapped in, I don't know, sandpaper. Like a gift doesn't
Dog
always,
poop.
yeah, exactly. It doesn't always have to be pretty, but what is the end result? And I think for both of us, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I'm going to. I
Yes, you
think
can. You can.
we view triggers as teachers, right? Like every time we're annoyed, every time we're aggravated, every time we're triggered by something, whatever it might be, these show you where you're leaking power. Like that is a wonderful opportunity for you. Therefore, that is a gift. It is a gift to be shown, hey, this is where you're leaking all of the power that you have. But a lot of us, like you said, don't want to see things as gifts. And not even just hustle culture. Just people don't want to do that inner work or to see like, hey, this really crappy thing that I'm going through right now is something that's going to like it's teaching me something. I'm going to grow
Yeah.
from this.
Yeah, no, and that's kind of like exactly that what I was gonna, also say is just that, you don't get to here where you and I right now are getting to observing the triggers and everything as what a gift, because we truly, you and I are right now like seeing literally everything as a gift, and we are pausing and saying what a gift. However, we didn't get here today. We got here from years of you and I putting
Mhm.
in the work and not just reading the books. Remember, there's always like this information overload, right? I read like 500 books, but we didn't just read the books and listen to the podcasts and attend the workshops. Right now, we're also integrating all that. And I totally know that if you are listening right now and you're like, oh my goodness, I don't even know, just start putting in the work, and it's literally moment by moment. Yesterday I was listening to Kimberly Snyder with Kathy Heller podcast, and it's not the, yes, the big retreats and the workshops and all that, those are amazing, but it is the moment by moment where you are actually choosing. You are, you see someone in a hurry, or you're choosing to let them in your lane versus cussing them off for cutting you off or whatever, cussing them out for cutting you off, right? Or you are choosing to smile, when you're at Trader Joe's and you are talking with the cashier, you're choosing to smile and asking her or him, yes, how was your day? I wish you a beautiful day. These are small moments that will actually are make a bigger difference than, like, yes, great with the retreats and all that, but just always be patient with yourself, but put in the work. You can't expect to see what you and I see, Kira,
Mhm.
without the work that we put in. Because you and I mean, with all humility, we put in the freaking work.
Well, and we want to be very clear, we're not done and we are well aware that we're not done.
No.
The work doesn't end.
Mm-mm.
It's just amazing to see the place that we've gotten to after knowing each other for years. And I'll give you guys an example. Like this is actually this is a good lesson for me right now because it's like, yes, a lot of times I will say like, "Oh, what is this teaching me?" That's how I say it. Like I don't say this is a gift, but I'm like, "What is this teaching me?" And I forget because I'm human, and you're going to forget because you're human. But here I am just telling Denise, like, my son had a baseball game. We love watching him play. There was not supposed to be rain. All of a sudden, there was rain. It cooled down. There was wind. Like, we're out there shivering. And I wasn't moaning and groaning, but, every so often I turn to my husband and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so cold. But what a gift it was to be able to sit there and watch him play baseball, you know?
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. How far have you
Hmm.
come with that little boy, right? From him,
Yeah.
not communicating, not talking, and you worrying about that. Like, what are we gonna do? And now he's playing baseball.
Yeah. So it's like, it can be these little things or like emotions, right? We all get into our emotions. We're human. And if you guys have not listened to our emotion episode, that's a
Oh,
top
please
one.
do.
I think it's episode 5.
I
So
think
go
it's one
back.
of our top
It
ones.
is. It is.
Yeah.
But I mean, think about all of the emotions that you get into on a day-to-day basis. Those those emotions are gifts because they're helping you grow and learn, right? Every time you get into anger, every time you get into frustration, every time you go into whatever it might be, this is sharpening your intuition if you're viewing it as like, oh, this is a gift. They're doing so much for you. But a lot of times we view like, oh, these negative emotions and we let it take us down, right? That's how we can get stuck in victim mentality. But
Hmm.
emotions are gifts, losses are gifts, breakups are
Absolutely.
gifts,
Hmm.
identity collapses. All of these things can be gifts. And I want to be very clear they can be very painful things in the moment. So you are not going to view it as a gift. However, when you start to realize that the things that were stripped away from you weren't serving you, that's where the gift comes in. And Denise, I can put you on the spot here, but like you shared, you're going through a lot. Like that's a really big
Yes,
thing.
I am. And I am going to give you an example because it also happened yesterday where I did, go into the old patterns and unconscious, thinking or whatever. As you know, that I am living with my parents right now. I'm not living at my home, at my marital home because I'm going through a divorce. And yesterday I was like so excited we're going to pass out candy. And then it was literally like I was sitting there and my mom and my grandma were constantly complaining and the contradicting, like, don't pass out too much chocolate. Or yeah, pass out too much chocolate. And I was like, wait a minute, like we're barely having people. So I was like, first I was in my silence because I'm in my queen energy. Like I am, silence is golden, etc. And I could have used so many of my strategies. I did step away for a minute, but it was just I just let it get to me, which is fine. And I blew up. I was like, oh my God, like all this time you're like complaining, 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 right? And then, however, but what did I do? I immediately so of course we ended up spending the night. It was like we turned it into a joke, etc. But I did go back at night and I was, journaling about it and talking to myself about it like what a gift that I got triggered, right? What a gift that my awareness right now, I didn't let it drag. And what is this truly about? Now I have a different plan. I could have done this, I could have done that, but I didn't. Just okay. I realized
Hmm.
it earlier, etc. But I am leading into all the pain. I mean, leaving my home and leaving my relationship
Yep.
was very painful, and sometimes it still is, but I am seeing it as a gift because I know that I'm learning so much about myself. And then two, I have been praying that's the thing, like I would pray and journal. I don't know who I am without this, without
Mm.
that. And then when this presented to me, because sometimes God answers your prayers in this different ways, and it doesn't have to be your way, and it's not going to be all rainbows and happiness and stuff like that. It can also be painful, but it's always it's kind of like when I always tell Avery, it's like when you dig through, like kind of, and then you get the gem, or when you go in like mining with the kids, like whenever you just dig through all the dirt to get the jewels and to get all the gems. So it's just leaning into that pain. And like for example, I was able yesterday to get my nails done, so that's why I started to see the small little gifts, right? So I was able to get my nails done in between clients, and because I have my business, and because I don't have to, like, you know to because I'm living with my parents, I'm not cleaning the house, etc. So I'm like seeing every single thing in my life as a gift, even though I am going through a painful
Hmm.
breakup of 22 years of marriage. But and again, even with living with my parents, that I'm seeing all the patterns, but I'm always saying I'm blessed that with all of everything I'm going through, they're helping me with the laundry, they're helping me with food. Like I don't have to cook, I don't have to do this. There are so many things I don't have to do where if I don't live with them, I had to like deal with the breakup, deal with the divorce, and then deal with having to clean the house, to run the business, to do all that. And yeah, so I know I went off a tangent. I don't know where I'm going with this, but it is just really important to yesterday I was like I was seeing the peace and the happiness and the calm in the moment, even though you know, I'm not with my husband anymore. You know what I mean? Like, even though I am going through something difficult, but I did choose to lean into the peace and calm of that energy. And it's always a choice.
Well, and one thing I want to say about this before, because I could see people getting triggered. So there's your word
Yeah.
right there. Listening to this of like, what are you talking about? I'm going through this horrible thing or this terrible thing happened to me, something super traumatic. Where the hell do I see that that's a gift? And it's not about seeing the gift in the moment. It's not about being grateful for this traumatic event if it's something big, but it's about recognizing on the other side, right? Not when
Right.
you're in the midst of it. And that's the thing. Like Denise is seeing those moments, but you were in the middle of it still. Like you can't see the full gift yet because you're still there. So if someone is in the thick of trauma, okay, when you're through it, when you're on the other side, now can you recognize the strength you have? Can you recognize the awareness you cultivated? Can you recognize the gifts, the attachment, all of these things that you were holding on to? The
Yeah.
gift is rarely in that moment. It's who you become after, whether it's something major or something minor.
Yes, absolutely. No, I totally agree. And yes, and people may be going through more traumatic events. This could be
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, this is nothing. Because, sometimes I do look at other people's like for example, do have a friend going through something a little bit more difficult than what I'm going through. And I totally feel like her, and I even say I'm blessed that I'm going through this. That's nothing
Mm-hmm.
compared to hers. But I love what you said about it is just on the other side and who you are becoming in the process,
Yep.
that person that you are also choosing to be in the moment. And I don't know, it's just like I know that we're definitely like we go through these obstacles or through everything because it is an answer to a prayer that we forgot that we said one day, right? And it's the prayer sometimes doesn't just come like wrapped in a gift and
Mm-hmm.
in diamonds and in all that. It just comes in those experiences that will elevate you to the person that you are meant to be, that will wake up your soul. Don't forget that a lot of us are going around with their, and so sometimes a lot of my prayer is, I pray for my soul to wake me up because my soul is there. It's just like this human suit that I
Mm-hmm.
have. Or sometimes I pray for, I know that I'm only seeing the 1%. Help me see the 20 or the 30% of that 99%, right? So, for example, today, in meditation, I was doing the morning Joe Dispenza meditation, and he goes through, talking to that parent inside of you, to your inner self, to whatever. And I did tell it, like show me, send me a sign. It's always about, he tells you like, tell your higher self to send you a sign that's in an unexpected way. And then I went to Trader Joe's and I bought something, and the amount was 69.99. So it was 999, and I came to look up what 999 means, and it's basically everything that I wanted. It was about like closing chapters and opening new ones and stuff like that. And and I feel sometimes when you are viewing these moments as gifts or these triggers as gifts, you are also opening up the synchronicities. You're seeing them more. But when you
Yeah.
are dwelling in your misery and in the victim mentality, you're not seeing the synchronicities.
No, and let's not forget, we're here to evolve. Like, I 100% believe that to be true. We did not come to this planet to just be the same person of like, oh, okay, yes, I'm growing up. Every year I get older, but it's like, are you staying in the same emotions? Do you continue to have the same triggers? Do you continue to speak to yourself and others the same way? I really hope not. Like, I pray that is not the case. And it is for many out there, right? Like, so many people, and you hear the word asleep, but they are asleep because they have not done any of that work. They're just like walking zombies. And it's like, if we are here to grow and evolve, wouldn't you want to start to see things as a gift to make your life better? Because that's really what it is about, right? Like, if I walk around and say everything sucks, and I was out there at the baseball game of like, oh my gosh, this is awful, how does that make my life better? Then it just puts me in a funk. But if I can choose to see things as a gift, little things, big things, okay, what lessons am I getting? I, I don't know. Like, my life has gotten so much better. The
Mm-hmm.
more I do this, the easier it is to get in gratitude and say thank you, like, for all of these beautiful things in my life. And thank you for putting me here. Thank you for letting me experience this. Thank you for letting me evolve. Thank you for helping me continue to evolve. Like, there's so many things. And I think that we get stuck at what healing even means. And I can't define it. I don't think you can either. Like, healing is
Mm-mm.
such a journey, but once you
And
get
it's
on that
different
train,
journey.
it is. Like, you can't get off once you're on it.
No, you can't. And it's a different journey for every
It
single
is.
person. And it's important also to know that also our free will is is also us choosing the energy that we want to lead with, right? So you lead with the energy. So kind of like when you wake up and choose, what outfit you want to wear, how you want to do your hair, same thing. What's the energy that I want to lead with? What is the energy that I want my day to to be, versus letting the experiences and the moments around you dictate that. So I think if you lead with that, like, what I mean, I'm going to choose calm today. So when you're on the phone with insurance or with T-Mobile, you're choosing calm versus letting that
At the
person
DMV.
at the DMV, or letting that person or the DMV person, because some of them are rude.
I know they that's why I use that one.
you know Dictate that, right? So it is just important to, just like you choose your jewelry for the day, your outfit, your whatever, choose the energy that you want to lead with, and that really will help you to view the moments and to be this energy in every moment, and not allow everything that's happening, because things are going to happen. That's the thing. You're not
Hmm.
just gonna all walk easy peasy in life. Like, things are going to be happening around you, so but you're going to be talking on the phone and someone is going to be rude to you, right? But instead of you being rude back, it's just, wishing them a good day, or thank you so
Hmm.
much for your help, you've been amazing, and you don't know what you're doing for that person, right? They could be
Yep.
having a horrible day, but you know, you don't know how many times was it since I decided the way I talk to people, because I used to be very aggressive on the phone, especially like, I'm gonna da, 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 so I
I
can get
can't
what I
see
want.
that.
Yeah. So, I would, like, right now I'm choosing to, like, be kind and wishing them a good day, or like ask them, and how are you? How was your weekend? Or whatever they ask me. So I can ask it back, and you're like, oh my goodness, thank you so much. Like, they really are thankful. And some of them are not, don't get me wrong. Yesterday the lady was not, but it doesn't matter to me. I wished her
Yep.
whatever I needed to wish her. And but yeah.
Well, and I was just gonna kind of throw in some questions. This goes perfectly with what you said. When we're in little moments, or when we're on the other side, or even in the midst of something, right? If it's nothing that's super traumatic, or if you've done a lot of work and you can still ask the questions in the middle, great. But this is where asking better questions comes into play of like, okay, why is this happening now? It's a wonderful question to ask yourself. What is this revealing? What strength is being activated in me, right? Because we all have strengths, we all have weaknesses. Where are your strengths? Where can you show up better? And where am I being asked to upgrade how I show up? Like, what else can I be doing? And that's the thing. These are just four questions. You could approach this in so many different ways, but this is where the gold is, or the gems, as you say, as you dig through stuff. Like, you're in the situation. What am I learning? Like, what is coming of this? Where is the gift? even if you don't see it in that moment, and even if it takes you a long time, just know, like telling yourself, right? There is a gift in this. There's something in here that's better for me. That's it.
Yeah. And then just like we always say, you want better for yourself,
Hmm.
right? You do want to ask the questions. You do want to take the time, prioritize yourself. Like to me, my nervous system is my priority because I lived in survival for a long time, and I just right now I refuse.
Hmm.
So anytime I get back into like, oh my goodness, I have to do this, just slow myself down, and it is what it is. I get it done when I need to get it done, or whatever. But again, I really want to reiterate, because you and I used to like listen to these people, and we used to like read the books and be like, oh my goodness, like I don't know sometimes, what are they talking about? I can't see it. And if something that we're saying is sounding triggering, or is like you're like saying, but how? It's literally because you need to do a little bit more work. So definitely commit to yourself every day. And even if just like, again, I always go to walking because walking is magic.
Hmm.
Walking is really magic. And then people, and you can walk, like even if you work full time and you have so much to do, you get a lunch break and you can walk on your lunch break, right? Or you can, I mean, if you're saying right now I don't have time to walk, I mean, we have a really big problem.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? A really big problem. Dig deeper into that, right?
Priorities.
And priorities. And walking will reveal so much. Like, ask the question that Kira suggested, and then go for a walk. Or during your walk, ask those questions. Talk to yourself, right? Like, no one is listening to you when you're walking by yourself, right? Or even if you're walking with your baby, like I get it. If you're walking with older children, just ask the here internally, and you'll be surprised. And always be open to the answers. I always say, I am open to the answers. I'm open to seeing this, and I'm choosing to seeing the synchronicities. I'm choosing to, like, again, like I don't want you to think like, oh my goodness, Kira's life and my life is magical, but we're choosing to see it as magic. We're choosing to say that we are
That the
in this
hardships have
moment, and
brought us here. Yeah.
yes, 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 and just thank those hardships. Truly, 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 truly. I mean, I don't know, like it's just
And that's the
like
thing.
love everything that's coming up.
And that's what I was going to say because I've got some clients that will tell me, like, oh my gosh, I just feel like I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I'm like, that's where you've got to get into that seeing things as a gift. Do I look forward to terrible things that are going to happen in my life? No. But thank you for allowing me to be here and have these opportunities,
Yeah.
you know?
And I do want to say that also we are like when we want something, whether it's the health or whatever, the money or the relationship or something, usually it's because we are after the feeling, right? And then Kathy Heller says it, and I'm reading a book by, I think her name is Jennifer Blanchard. We are like, they all are saying the same thing. I
We
think
all do.
all roads
We all do.
lead, yeah, to the same kind of destination. But there's no destination, right? We're open. So you want to feel those emotions now. So if you want the health, and the weight or whatever, so you can feel happy or joyful or peaceful, feel the peace now, feel the
Hmm.
calm now. And I really love that Jennifer suggested in her book, it's called Quantum Leap Your Life. She suggested to make a list of your feel good list. So today I was writing down what feels good to me: walking, coloring, meditation, dancing, listening to music. So list your feel good list. And whenever you don't feel good and you want to get into those emotions, go to your list and choose something for you
Hmm.
to do. And you don't have to have a list of 10. It can be a list of 3 things that make you feel good, right? And they don't have to be extravagant. They don't have to cost money. Walking doesn't cost money. Coloring doesn't. I mean, you have crayons and you just color,
Putting
like
on a
some
song.
putting on a song, absolutely. Dancing, you can just
Hmm.
go in the room or in the bathroom even and dance, or just go back to that list and feel good, and then get back into those emotions, because once you prioritize the feelings that you want to feel when, because what we always wait, like when I get this, when I have the baby, when I have the this, when I have that job, I'm going to be satisfied, happy, relieved, etc., which is not true. You want to feel the emotions now versus later.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have an
Yeah.
affirmation for us?
I do. Okay, remember we're gonna do just a couple rounds of breath. So we are gonna inhale for 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 6. And the affirmation or the mantra, whatever you want to call it, or the feel-good phrase is I honor the lessons that shaped me. Okay, so I would always, well, let's put our hand on our heart. We're gonna inhale for 4. I'm gonna guide you. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna hold for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're gonna do this one more time. Inhale for 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold again. 4, 2, 3, 4, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and repeat that the whole time. I honor the lessons that shaped me. I honor the lessons that shaped me.
And guys, it's just one step on your healing journey. You pick where you need to start. Maybe it's here, maybe it's emotions. We have lots of episodes to support you. We reference other podcasts, books, so many things. So if you're here because you want to start your healing journey, we are giving you everything we have.
Everything.
And then, yeah, share this with people. Guys, that helps us grow. We so appreciate that. When you leave us a review, when you share it with a friend, the more downloads we get, the more it's shown to people that need this. And then, of course, you can always message us on Instagram or Facebook and let us know topics you want to hear about, guests you want us to bring on, whatever. We'll see you on the
Thank you.
next
Thank you.
episode.